I'm E. Krishna Rapatro. Now we'll see the course description or the outcome-based education on this particular subject or data structure. So what type of outcome you are getting and what is the main objective of this particular course and how the course outcome is mapped with the program outcome. All the details we'll see now. Because whenever you are studying subject, for every subject there will be some objective as well as there will be something called course outcomes as well as there is something program outcomes. So how they are interlinked. So those details you have to see now. First, when you want to study any subject, for every subject there will be some objective. So based on the objective you have to study. The objective of this particular subject means our data structure is to provide the student with skills needed to understand and analyze the performance trade-offs of the different algorithms and implementation and asymptotic analysis of their running time and memory usage. So this particular subject, data structure, which is having different types of organization of data, that is linear data structure, non-linear structure, as well as different types of sorting algorithms, as well as searching algorithms, hashing functions. So many algorithms are there and many data structure concepts are there. So for everything there are some time complexity. So the time complexity and time measurement, space measurement or space complexity you can analyze through this particular subject. So how much time it takes, how much space it requires to solve these problems. So the objective is you have to understand and you have to analyze the performance of the different algorithms. There are actually different performance measurement techniques or asymptotic notations are there. Those are big O, omega, and theta. Using that notations, you can represent the performance. So this is the first objective of this. Okay. Second objective is provide the knowledge of abstract data type and associated algorithms. Associated algorithms as the stacks, queues, list, trees, graphs, hashing, sorting, and selection, and different type of searching techniques. So all these things you have to study in this subject. One of the important concepts is abstract data type. So generally in every programming language you have studied something called basic data type or primitive data types. But here you will be knowing about how to represent and how to design an abstract data type also, which is something called user defined data type. So user can design a new data type with its own requirement, as well as the associated algorithms which you need to solve those things also you have to study in this particular subject. The stacks, queues, list, the list is again linked list. It can be a single linked list, it can be a double linked list, it can be a circular single linked list, or it can be a circular double linked list. All these things you have to study. These are all comes under linear data structure. Similarly, you have to study about non-linear data structures like trees and graphs. As well as you have to see about various types of sorting methods like because to arrange the data, you need some sort of sorting methods like insertion sort, bubble sort, selection sort, quick sort, merge sort, all type of sorting methods you will be studying in this particular course. Similarly, different type of searching methods also available for searching algorithms like linear search, binary search, all types of searching algorithms also you have to learn in this particular course. Okay, so these are whatever the subject you are studying, so you have to know about what exactly the objective, why you have to study, what you will gain. So those things are represented this course. Now third objective of this subject is because whatever the subject you are studying, for every subject there must be some objective. Without objective, you cannot learn anything. So the third objective is the fundamental of how to store the information, whether linear way or non-linear way. So you as well as how to retrieve, how to store it, how to retrieve it, and how to process the data efficiently. That part also you will be studying in this particular subject. The fundamental concept, insertion, deletion, all these things you will be studying here. Next, to provide practice by specifying and implementing these data structures and algorithms in Python. So it will give a scope how to implement all these things using a particular program language, that is Python. So here you will be learning about Python concept as well as the data structure concept. So those data structure you will be implementing through Python. Similarly, understand essential of future programming and software engineering courses. So you will be understanding the essential for future programming and software engineering courses also. So these are the following objectives of particular course. Okay. Next. Then what is the course outcome? After studying this particular course, what is the outcome? What you will get? What are the different outcomes you will be getting? Now we'll discuss. After successful completion of this course, the student will be able to carry out the analysis of range of algorithms in terms of algorithm analysis and express the algorithm complexity using big O notation. So the first outcome is carry out the analysis of range of algorithms. So different algorithms are there, you can analyze. So that is the main outcome of this particular subject. First outcome. Actually, there are many outcomes. So one of the outcome is to know about the performance analysis of the each algorithm. So that is you to understand all these things. So this comes under understand level of the Bloom's taxonomy. Second, CO2. Second course outcome is make use of the recursive algorithm. It will allow you to use the recursive algorithm. Actually, there are different algorithms. You can use iterative algorithm or you can use recursive algorithm also. So in the recursive algorithm, how you can solve? Because same problem I can solve using recursive. Same problem I can solve in iterative. So same iterative problem I can solve using recursive way with a simplified way. In a simple way you can write. So for that you need little bit to applying condition where you have to use. Next, one more outcome is the represent. To represent different ADT, abstract data type. ADT means what? Abstract data type. Abstract data types are created by the user. So you can define your own data type with the help of a special keyword called class in Python. So using class you can define the ADT and appropriate data structures to solve the problem. So these things comes under understand level. So the outcome of this course is you will be knowing how to represent the data, because primitive data means already available in the system. You need not define. Whereas the data type which you want to create, you can create also with the help of there is a keyword called class keyword in Python, because this ADT depends on the language also. So depending on the language, specific keywords are there, you can create it. So ADT can be created by this. So that means the student is able to produce its own data type. So ADT comes under user defined data type. I think you know there are two kinds of data type. One is primitive, another one is non-primitive. Primitive means which is available in the system directly or built in. Non-primitive means which is not there. User has to create. So the user can create its own data type. That is the main outcome of this particular course. There is another outcome. You can select appropriate sorting technique for the given problem. So whenever you want to organize or arrange the data in ascending order or descending order, that time you need some sorting methods. So to arrange the data either in ascending or descending order, you can use any of the sorting technique. Again, there are some set of sorting techniques. Some are taking quadratic type, some are taking logarithm type. So you can choose any algorithm based upon the requirement. If it is a small volume of data, then in that case bubble sort or insertion sort or quick sort is better. When there is a huge collection of data, in that case you can use quick sort or mesh sort or heap sort also. If the data is coming from outside, a huge volume which is not, you are not able to store in a RAM, then in that case mesh sort is the best one. So all types of sorting techniques you will be studying here. So different type of sorting techniques you will be knowing. That means after studying you will be knowing about what are the different sorting techniques are there and which sorting techniques are stable, which are in place sorting, and which are simple one, which one are unstable. So all varieties of categorization you can do in this particular course. Next, there is another outcome. You can select appropriate searching technique for a given problem. So whenever you want to find some item from the given list, so to find the item from the list, you can choose either linear search or binary search. So these two searching techniques are also available here. Of course, there is one more also there, Fibonacci search, extended searching technique, but mostly you will be using the linear search or binary search. Whenever the volume of data is high and that is not in a order, in haphazard order, then you can choose even linear search. Whenever the data is organized in a order, that means either ascending or descending order, in that case, instead of using linear search, you can use even binary search also. So different types of searching algorithms are there, you can choose. So this also comes under your understand level, because once you understand, then you can apply the searching technique. And there is one more outcome. Implement the standard searching technique or algorithms and include binary search and merge sort, quick sort and their complexities. So it will talk about which sorting I have to use, as well as it is talking about how to implement also, because in your real-time application, implementation also plays major role. So to implement this one, you should have apply level knowledge, where you have to apply and how to apply. All concept you will be studying in this particular subject, because for any concept, first of all you have to understand. After understanding, only you can apply it in your real time. If you do not know apply, then that is no use. Simply understanding is not sufficient enough to apply in the real life. Next, you can have one more outcome. Design and implement the linked list, stacks, queues in Python. That means you have already categorized what are the different abstract data types are there. So you know how to create it. You know how to define it, as well as how to implement it, where you have to use. In the real-time scenario also, you can implement. That concept also you will be getting in this particular course. The stacks and queues are the two important linear data structures. Those things also you will be learning. The stack talks about last in, first out order, whereas queues talks about first in, first out. This is last in, first out, LIFO. This is first in, first out, FIFO. Okay. And the linked list, which is also linear, but that will be organizing from node by node, and every node will be linking with another node. So all these things, implementation style also you're knowing. So this will be talking about how to apply. So comes under apply level. Remember, under Bloom's taxonomy, there are various levels of understanding. The knowledge levels. The simplest one is the understand. Of course, one more is the remember, just by hearting. For example, they may ask which or what is the order of the stack. Stack follows which order. So immediately you can say last in, first out order. That is directly remembering level. And how you are implementing, that you have to understand it. And where exactly you have to use. For example, to convert infix to postfix. So there you should know apply level. So whether I should apply for the operator level or operand levels. So all these things you will know. Similarly, there is another course outcome. Explain the use of basic data structures such as array, stack, queues, linked list, and in program design. You will be knowing the basics of data structures such as arrays, stacks, queues, linked list, and others. So you will be knowing the stack. In stack, you will know push and pop operation. In queue, you know NQ and DQ. As well as in linked list, you can do insertion, deletion, as well as traversal. All concept, basic concept, you will be knowing. Okay, so that is also one of the. And there is another outcome. Extend the knowledge of data structures to more sophisticated data structures to solve the problems involving balanced binary search tree So that means tree concept at the same time balance binary search tree, AVL tree, and B tree, MY tree, and B plus tree, the advanced B tree, hashing as well as basic graph concept. Those things also you will be learning here. That means once you study this course, you will be getting all varieties of knowledge. Mostly they may say binary search tree and AVL tree, how both are differ. So you should know the apply level where exactly it differs. Both are binary tree as well as both are binary search tree. Every binary tree having the property like parent and child relation. Similarly, in AVL tree also there is a parent-child relationship. In binary search tree also there is a parent-child relationship. Whereas the difference in BST and AVL trees, in the case of BST, the data will be organized with the property left child is less than parent and right child is greater than parent. But it will not see how they are organized, whether one side is less, other side is more. That means height difference is not measured. The left height and right height are not measured in the binary search tree. Where in the case of AVL tree, it will be checking the height also, not only the binary search tree property. In addition to binary search tree property, it will check height also. The left height and right height may be differ by at most one only. If it is imbalanced, it will be rearranged again. So it is completely balanced tree. Similarly, we will be learning about B tree. B tree is perfect balance. M by tree. So you can set the data in M ways. So searching will be very fast in M way because there are multiple ways are there. Of course, implementation will be tough, but searching will be very fast. So those extended knowledge you will be getting here in this particular subject. Similar hashing, you can hash a particular key and you can find whether the element available or not in the hash table. If element available, then you can find out in a short span of time. Similarly, basics of graphs, you will be talking about the graph also. That means your graph comes under nonlinear data structure. Trees also nonlinear data structure. So those concepts, those basic concepts you will be knowing. See, in the graph you will be talking about how to represent a graph, how to traverse the graph. These varieties of concept you will be learning about this. So how to apply those things, where exactly the graph concept is useful and where exactly stacks are useful, where exactly trees are useful, all knowledge, the application level also you will be knowing. And there is one more outcome. You can design and implement the tree structures in Python. So using Python language also you are able to implement tree as well as graph. Similarly, there is another outcome related to comparing. The compare and contrast benefits of the dynamic and static data structure. See, there are two types of data structure, static as well as dynamic. So you can compare both type of data structures. So those details you will be also getting here. Once you study this subject, you will be knowing how to compare and contrast the benefit of dynamic and static data structures. Implementation and choose appropriate data structure for specified problem domain. Once I give a problem, from that problem, you will be knowing which is better one and which one is the suitable to solve this. So this is talks about your understanding level. And there is one more course outcome. Quickly determine and explain how efficient algorithm or data structure will be or apply the appropriate data structure for solving computing problems with respect to performance. So you can choose which is the best data structure to use to solve a particular problem because there are many options are there. Which option is suitable? For example, to store a fixed collection of data, whether you should use array or linked list. In that case, if there is a fixed, always go for array. If there is dynamic, that means I do not know how many will come in the future. Then in that case, you can go for linked list. So these concepts also you will be learning here. So by analyzing the situation, you will be knowing this. Similarly, if the data is to be arranged in a linear pattern only, then in that case, you have to use linear data structure. If the data is organized in hierarchical order, then go for non-linear data structure. So again, under non-linear data structure, which items are there? One is a tree, another one is graph. So those things you will be knowing those things by analyzing the problem. Similarly, one more course outcome also available. Communicate effectively the concept of hashing. So the concept of hashing also will be knowing by analyzing the problem. Similarly, the program outcome. The program outcome talks about how your engineering program means engineering program, how it is achieved here. Once you study this particular course, how these are interlinked with the particular program or your BTech program. The engineering, there are three program outcome: PO1, PO2, PO3. Program outcome 1, program outcome 2, and program outcome 3. Engineering knowledge, the first one, it talks about apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, engineering fundamentals, and engineering specialization to the solution of complex engineering problems. And its strength is 3. And its proficiency you can measure with the help of CIE or quiz or AAT. That means these are all your internal assessment techniques. And the second program outcome is problem analysis. Identify, formulate, review research literature, analyze the complex engineering problems, reaching the sustained conclusion using first principle of mathematics, natural science, and engineering sciences. Here the strength is 2, and you can access by CIE or quiz or AAT. So that is the problem analysis step. And there is another one, design and development of solutions. Design solution for complex engineering problems and design system components or process that meet the specified needs with appropriate consideration of the public health and safety and cultural, social, and environmental. And its strength is 2. And this can be assessed by seminars, conferences, or workshops. So there are different ways are there assessment technique. So the outcome of this one is engineering knowledge, problem analysis, as well as design and development of solutions. And one more, PO5, the modern tool usage. Create, select, and apply the appropriate technique and resources and modern engineering IT tools, including prediction and modeling to complex engineering activity with an understanding of the limitations. And its strength is 2. And proficiency you can assign means assess by assignment or discussion. So for every subject you will be giving some assignment. So using that assignment you can use these things. Next, one more outcome you can achieve, that is individual and teamwork. So function effectively as an individual and as a member of or leader in the diverse teams and multidisciplinary settings. So these things you can assess by multidisciplinary group or class group. And its strength is 2. Similarly, communication. Communicate effectively on complex engineering activity with engineering community and with society at large, such as being able to comprehend and write effective reports and design documentation, make effective presentation. And this can be assessed by discussion on innovation or presentation. And its strength is 2. And one more is lifelong learning. This is also one of the program outcome. Recognize the need for and having the preparation and ability to engage in independent and lifelong learning and in the broadcast context of the technology challenges. And it can be assessed by seminars, workshops, and short-term courses. And its strength is only 1. And there is a correlation between the course outcome and program outcome. The CO1 linked with the PO1 and CO2 linked with this. If you consider this 7 linked with 1, 2, 3 as well as 10 also. So some course outcomes may be mapped with multiple POs. If you observe this, different COs are mapped with different IOs. So now CO12 having linked with PO1, PO2 and PO3 as well as PO10. Whereas CO2 linked with only PO1 only. So depending upon the subject, this CO-PO mapping also changes. Similarly, you can see what is PO1. PO1 talks about engineering knowledge, okay, and PO2 talks about problem analysis. PO3 talks about design and development of solutions. So different POs having different descriptions. Similarly, PO5 modern tool and uses. PO9 talks about individual and teamwork. PO10 talks about communication. PO12 talks about lifelong learning. So all these things are mapped with a particular course in this particular program. Similarly, the professional skills, the program specific outcome PSO. There are two PSOs, PSO1, PSO3. Understand the professional skills. Understand, design, analyze, and computer program in the areas related to algorithm, system software, web design, big data, artificial intelligence, and machine learning network. And whose strength is only one. And it can be proficiency assessed by mini project or seminar or assignment. So for everything there is a assessment mechanism. So you can assess this with help of the seminar or assignments or mini projects. Similarly, PSO3, which talks about successful career and entrepreneurship. Make use of the modern computer tools for creating or innovative career paths to be an entrepreneur or design for higher studies. This can be also measured by discussion on innovation and industry exposure and whose strength is 2. So these are the different two program specific outcome. So all these things you will be knowing if you study this particular subject. Okay. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.